Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing the Object 777 version 2, a Tier 10 Collector Soviet Heavy, a vehicle that features mobility, damage per minute, and pretty solid armor. When you combine all these together, it creates a fantastic heavy tank for dealing with really any situation you get stuck in. Now, to be fair, the 777 does have some big downsides, which a lot of people overlook, and in today's video I'll be talking about not only the upsides, but some of the things that can bring you down pretty quickly. So let's get straight into it. Starting off, let's take a look at a brief overview of the statistics. The gun is actually getting buffed next update. It's going from 0.344 dispersion to 0.326, and to be honest, that is going to be quite nice, because the gun right now is not incredibly accurate, especially when you add on its on-movement dispersion. So with it getting more base dispersion next update, that is going to be quite nice and enjoyable. It's also getting 8 PCR rounds next update as its base ammo, which is a bit unfortunate, but the heat's still staying the same. It doesn't look like they're touching the pen or anything like that. So for the most part, the 777 is going to be the exact same playstyle, and everything I'm saying here will be completely valid when update 10.3 drops. So let's start off with the gun. 0.344 dispersion, 3.2 seconds of aiming time, and 2,900 damage per minute. Okay, that's all pretty solid. Now, I am personally running calibrated shells to get that 374 millimeters of heat pen. There's a lot of players out there that will try to argue that rammer is better, and it's just not. I mean, sure, there are situations where rammer might help you get another shell out, but there's a lot of situations I can name, especially being in a frontline heavy, cutting through E100 hull armor and VK90 turret cheeks and stuff like that, is just way easier running Cali, and it's going to get the job done much better. So if you want consistency and you want more wins, usually I suggest to go with calibrated shells. If you want to farm more damage, then maybe sometimes it's better to run rammer. So as you can see, the gun itself is really good. It's got plenty of DPM, decent dispersion, and okay aiming time. Now, something that is a bit unfortunate is the gun depression. Only at 6 degrees, this is a awkward tank to drive in most situations. Even when you're using full gun depression, it still has pretty big hatches, which I'll be showcasing. So the armor on the tank is strong, but I definitely wouldn't say it's anything amazing due to the fact it's a bit awkward to work it unless you're really getting that gun depression perfectly down on your opponents. When it comes to alpha, nice. 430 is really chunky. It's enough to outtrade a lot of 400 alpha opponents like the Chieftain, T110E5, FE2 and 5B, and it's also enough to deal with vehicles like the IS-7 and VK90 and AMX M4 upwards of 480 to 460. So it's a really nice in-between alpha. Mobility-wise, the tank is fast, reaches a top speed of 45, and it's got a good power to weight of 16.4. But this is where some of the downsides occur. Its traverse speed is only 30 degrees a second. This is really slow. It's like pre-buff 113 levels of traverse. Add that into the fact the vehicle also only reverses at 12, and yeah, that's pretty bad. Autoloaders are literally the crux of this tank. Like, if an autoloader, a 57 heavy, or even a TVP rolls out in front of you, your track wheels are big, they're easy to penetrate, and if people know where they're aiming, they will instantly take 1200 and half of your tank off. So that is the problem with this vehicle, is it's very bad at getting out of a position you put it in. So you have to be incredibly careful and pay attention to what you're doing in the vehicle. But overall, that's the statistics. Let's take a brief look at the armor profile as well. We can see that frontally it's pretty easy to pen. I mean, you've got a big old lower plate, 132, and even the mid plate, while it's strong at 260, as long as you have premium shells loaded, I mean, it's a really easy pen. That's also the same for the side armor. If you aim low, very easily you're just going to cut through the sides. Now, if this tank's in a side scrape, let's say this calculator is a wall, and I'm hiding my hull armor perfectly like this, right? So this is my hull. So this is now going to be a very hard pen, because you can see that my gun is around the corner, and this is what you're aiming at. So at this point, yeah, good luck cutting through the vehicle. But that's a very rare situation. For the most part, this vehicle is pretty easy to pen as long as you know where you're aiming. Either shoot the lower plate or try to shoot right into the lower half of the track wheel if you can, and you'll most likely get a penetrating shot. The other big weak spot is the roof. If you have heat, it doesn't even need to be high pen. Like the E5 for example, has really high pen heat, but if we get out of concept and we take off calibrated shells, you can still see how easy it is to cut through the roof. It's only about 235 thick. Heat shells can actually penetrate about 10 more degrees of angle than AP and APCR. APCR goes through about 72 degrees, heat can go through 85 degrees. So what that means is that heat can actually cut through this angled roof structure of the vehicle quite easily. Even while it's hull down, it's pretty easy to cut through this vehicle. So keep that in mind when running the 777, that if you're on flat ground, it's very easy to hit the roof of this vehicle against anything that shoots heat. Now, if the vehicle you're having shoot at you fires APCR, for example, let's go to like the mouse, APCR will struggle to cut through your roof. It's only going to be able to hit the hatches. So depending on what is shooting at you, it will greatly affect how your armor actually works in the vehicle. But either way, that's the 777. Let's get into some gameplay and see what the vehicle can do now that we've talked about its statistics and armor. Here we are in our first battle. Up against us, we have two 777s, being a pretty decent lineup. So we're going to have to be a little careful here. They also have a Sheridan E6, so let's see what we have. We got a Chieftain 57 Heavy and E100. We also got some strong TDs. The 183 could be good if it did its job, but well, you never can trust teammates all too much. Really, this battle, we're just going to see what our team does. Hopefully they all cross. If they do, then we might be okay. Now, 777s, as I said, the big weakness is the reverse speed against autoloaders. If we take a look at their lineup, they do have a Kron, but apart from that Kron, they don't have too much we're going to have to be worried about. So let's just use that good mobility, cross over here, and we're going to go fully wide. That way we can't be shot in the crossing. Just like that. Maybe we can get a shell into the E6. Nope, unfortunate for us. But at least we were indeed able to make the crossing, which was the first important goal in our mind. Alright, we also did not bleed anything to get over here, so maybe we can get a shell into the Sheridan. No. Oh, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Nice 460 damage shot into the enemy Sheridan. Okay, well that's pretty good. And our team is also absolutely crapping on this this enemy E6, or not E6, sorry, the enemy Kron. So we got one nice heat shell into the Jagdpanzer. You can see this is a really good spot to currently put the 777 due to the way the armor works on this vehicle. We do have the Kron off to the side. We're going to aim it on that player. There you go. Nice heat shell right into the Kron's edge of the turret. You can see again where the heat feels very nice on this tank, especially running calibrated shells. We're going to aim it on the Kron again. We're going to try and slap that shell beautifully right into the hull of his vehicle. That E6 really isn't going to be able to do much to us here. I'm going to aim in on him as well, just to make sure that he can't really play too aggressive. We got the Kron off to the side. E6 does finish off one of my teammates, and we can see that Kron is looking at me, but for now we should be okay if we just hold here. E6 is shooting my Minnow right now, though, which is not necessarily good for the team, so we're able to get one shell into the E6. Now we can back on up. We're going to angle it towards him. Not too bad. We also got the 30B in mid, who I want to get a shell into, so let's see if we can slap that 30B. Nice! Okay, 30B's a one-shot, which is obviously very, very important. The Minnow is no longer in a super troubling position, and we got the Sheridan off to the side, who another nice slapper right into. Okay, well, we're getting some good damage out. Now, the E6 is cutting right through my roof, and you can see that. I mean, this is the big weakness of the 777 is that roof. But thankfully, my E100 was able to get out some pretty decent shots. Plus, we got a big ol' ram into the E6, another nice shot into his vehicle. I'm just going to make sure that this guy really can't do much. As you can see, the DPM on this tank, plus the armor, has worked pretty well so far this game. We've been able to get some good bounces, we've been able to get out some good damage, so not all too bad. Let's see if we can get anything else out. I don't think we're going to be able to, but we're already at 3,800, so not a bad result really at all. Hopefully this, really. I hate when people get in my way. It's one of the most irritating aspects. But with the Yag being right over here, that's who I'm going to go for. So let's load a heat shell just to 100% confirm that pens. We got the 30B off to the side, who we're going to push for. We got 2 more seconds left on our reload. Well, I was going to say let's go wide, but I guess that's ended up tracking us. Well, with the 30B over here, that was a bad shot for me, I'll be completely honest. I could have aimed that a bit better, but it doesn't matter. Pretty easy game. We did 4,000 damage, came out with a victory, got 2 kills, and Good example of the 777 first game, right? The armor worked well, but you did notice the E6 went right through my roof, no problem whatsoever. And that is something you're going to have to keep in mind when driving this tank. Again, that roof armor is really bad. And anybody that understands how to take advantage of it will very, very quickly take you out. So, not a bad game, though, at all. 4,100 in damage, so pretty good. 1,000 damage block.
It's time
Oh my
to rock
god.
out to Megadeth.
It's time to rock out to Megadeth and absolutely blast my eardrums and ruin my recording because the screen went blank. Like, what? We are back, and let's do another battle in the 777. Now, something else I should point out about this tank, which you may have noticed in that game, or may not have, is the turret traverse. This vehicle features incredibly slow turret traverse. What that means is that it's very easy to not get your shells out. If there's something that's moving fast, turning your turret is just, it's a little painful sometimes, so it's something else you'll have to be cautious about in the tank. Here we are, battle number 2. Up against us, what do we have? AMX 50B. We got, that's about it for heavies, really. They got a Type 71 at the bottom. I don't want to forget that tank. And I also somehow misclicked off game. I got a new monitor added. I've got like a third monitor up here, and then my 2 off to the side now. So I have to get used to the monitor placement because my mouse sometimes gets dragged up and I can't find it. But I got a third monitor set up, so now I can read live stream chat while I stream and have the stream set up on one tab and have the game set up on the other, so it'll be quite nice. So let's see what we can do here. With the enemy lineup, we do actually have to be quite careful, but I'm going to try and cross on top of the bridge. They do have a 50B, which could get probably like 1 shell into us here in the crossing. Did not expect to see the grill there, but we were able to get across, which is good. This is a very important position to get into because it allows you to get shells into vehicles like this grill, and as you can see, only showcase my turret. It puts this grill in a really, really stressful situation, and it puts us in a really good position to basically stop the enemy from doing anything on this side of the map. So as you can see, that grill is stuck there, and that's good because that minnow just needs to push him, and there you go. Another nice shot into the grill. He's basically, yeah, he's just dead. So at this point, now we can push over to the Minotauro. We got the Caro as well off to the side, who, wow, the Caro has a lot more armor, I thought, than hull down. We were able to squeeze that shell right into the mantlet of his vehicle, so it wasn't like the end of the world, but still a lot more armor than I expected from that vehicle hull down. Now, we can see the Leopard did finish off our TVP, but that's not too much of a problem. Let's aim it on the Leopard, and oh yeah, beautiful shell right into his vehicle. At this point, I'm hoping that the 100 finishes off the Caro, as I'm going to push onto the side of the Minotauro. Wow, okay, that made no sense, ever, but that's fine. We're just going to get to the side of the minnow here, and if he really tries to turn to me, he's going to die. So, yeah, again, pretty solid result from the 777. You can see how we were able to big brain our opponents, put ourselves in a position that they really couldn't dig us out of. We've lost 0 hit points at this situation. We're full health. AMX 50B's in mid, and it looks like he's getting full clip by our minnow right now. Not the smartest of players, but that's fine. We're going to try and get a little bit of damage out. Oh my rat. Yeah, that 50B is not what I would consider to be the brightest bulb in the shed. Alright, well, let's see if we can get any... No, we're not going to get any damage out. This 50B has literally just killed himself. Alright, well, maybe we can get 1 shot into the 50B, especially if he runs down here. Maybe we can hit him in the crossing. Bonk. There you go. Well, we did over 3k with that 300 damage there in the end. That's all we needed. 3,138. So, I can't complain. We did our job. We not only got that grill completely screwed, but we also were able to completely stop the mediums from driving up to the bridge to try and leave. We did our job. As you can see, the 777 is just a really solid vehicle. The tank is mobile, the gun is solid, the armor's good, everything about the tank is good. It's definitely one of the best heavies right now in the game, and you can see that it is available in a draw currently. I didn't want to talk about the price or anything until the video is basically over, because you're probably invested in the tank at this point. So I think it's about 25,000 gold to get the tank with the draw guaranteed. There is a 50-50 chance at the last draw, but again, I can't necessarily say whether it's worth it or not. What I will say is that the tank itself is strong. It's great gun. Sorry, just had a hiccup there. Great gun, great DPM, mobility's good. So if this is the kind of tank that you're thinking about getting, I can definitely say if you understand how to drive it, really solid tank. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.